In this video, we're going to be diving into my dividend portfolio and taking a look at how it performed in the month of January. Specifically, we're going to look at the buys and sells I made this month, as well as all the dividends I received. And then we're going to look at some performance metrics and try to compare it to the overall market as well. So this is my spreadsheet to track my dividend portfolio, and this is just a snapshot basically of what it looks like at the end of December 2022. So these are all the companies I own. And this month we technically did get a dividend increase, but it's not shown over here. And that's basically because it was from Air Products and Chemicals, ticker symbol APD. And the way they do their dividends is kind of strange. They actually declare, the next dividend before they pay the current one. So they still have to pay a dividend in February, and then their May dividend is the one that will be increased. So after they pay that February dividend, then it'll show up in the spreadsheet and we'll be able to take a look at it then. But overall, at the end of December, the portfolio was around $3,700 with an annual income over $100, which is super exciting to have crossed that at the end of 2022. Now we're going to go over to my account in Fidelity, and I have all the transactions filtered out from January 1st to January 31st. Can't believe the first month of 2023 is already over, and we're going to download these transactions here into a CSV file, and then we can just save them to our computer and then go back to our spreadsheet here. And I can just go here and import this CSV file. And then once I import that, I can run some scripts that I created, and those scripts will basically parse through this file, and then they will parse through all the data and basically look at all the transactions and put them into the right spots in the spreadsheet. So we got the CSV file imported, and so now I can just go to this scripts tab and click parse Fidelity transactions, and it's going to parse all that. And if you are interested in adding these scripts to your spreadsheet, I have support for Fidelity and Vanguard, and I might be adding support for others in the future. Definitely just let me know if you want me to add support for other brokerages, because basically different brokerages are going to format their data in different ways, and I can point you to some videos as well where I go through how to set this up. It's pretty easy to set up. You just have to copy some code, stuff like that I've already created. But if you are interested in that, definitely let me know and I can help you out there. So the script finished running, and we have a little summary here. So we deposited $185 and we made buys worth $193. No sales this month, and dividends were $8.01. So let's look at what exactly happened. So we can look at the transactions here, and basically this is just going to show us every single transaction. So I'll scroll down to the bottom so we can see these. And we can see we actually had two cash deposits. One was our normal $150, and the other one was about $35, and that's just credit card rewards that I just have deposited into my account. And then we can look at all our transactions here, some Apple, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, and 3M. And actually, if we look here at this new tab I created, if I set up the start date to be January 1st, 2023, and then end at January 31st, then we can see basically which companies I invested in this month. So I invested $10 into 3M, $20 into Microsoft, or $20 into Apple, $60 into Microsoft, and $105 almost into Johnson & Johnson, which is pretty exciting for sure. And looking now at dividend and payments, only got a few dividends this month, but they were fairly substantial. So got $3.40 from Leggett & Platt, got $1.27 from Cisco. We got a cash dividend, which is basically just interest on the cash in our account, of 72 cents. And then we got a dividend from JP Morgan of $2.62. So pretty exciting there to see those dividends continually grow over time. And if we want to look at exactly how those dividends have grown, we can take a look at this chart here, which shows the dividends every single month. And we can see the last time most of these companies paid us was October of 2022, when we received $6.56 from them. So definitely a nice increase there. And last January of 2022, we only received $2.46 in dividends. This January, we received $8. So pretty awesome growth there that I'm really excited about for sure. So some other data that I look at for my dividend portfolio is this tab here, which gives us some long-term trend lines basically. So this first chart here is basically just the portfolio value. So I started these charts back in February of 2022, so it's been about a year, and in that time the portfolio has gone from around $2,000 to almost $4,000, which is really exciting. And then this is our 5-year dividend CAGR here, and this is one that I definitely want to work on. I've often said, 8% dividend CAGR is where I kind of want to be. And so we can see the past, 6 months, it's kind of drifted down to about 7.5%. And I really want to work on improving that some. And there's a few ways I can do that, but essentially, the companies that to me have looked on sale and attractive just haven't had as high of a dividend CAGR. So I need to just focus more and put more attention towards those higher dividend CAGR companies and weight those more heavily in my portfolio. And then some other charts here: dividend income, awesome to see this steadily increasing over time. A payout ratio around 50% right now, which I'm pretty happy with, and generally that's been about constant, decreasing a little bit. And the final one here is dividend yield. My portfolio fluctuates generally around 3%, which I'm pretty happy with. I would certainly be fine if it went a little bit below 3% as well, but definitely don't want to get that too far up there, as I'm focusing a lot on dividend growth at this point in my life. And then another bit of data that I compiled here is just all the companies and how they performed over the last month. So I have it filtered out to January 1st to January 31st. So if we just sort this, we can see how all the companies performed during that month time period of January. So Pfizer was my worst performing stock, down about 14% this month. And it's actually getting to a point where, I would be interested sort of soon in buying more if it keeps falling. If it was around that $40 range, I would be pretty happy to buy more Pfizer there. And same with J&J. If they fall more, I would definitely be happy to buy more. Like you saw, I bought over $100 in January, and they've had some, recent news about some bankruptcy and lawsuit type things with their one subsidiary, and that kind of caused the stock price to drop. But overall, in the long term, I don't think that's that big of a deal. And then, the companies that have performed the best have been AT&T, Carrier Global, Leggett & Platt, and Apple, up almost 15% this month. And coming back to the summary sheet here, we can see the portfolio value is now at $3,964. So very close to that $4,000 mark. I don't think the portfolio has ever crossed 4,000 yet, but I'm sure it will within the next month. Actually, as soon as I make the next deposit, to be honest. Projected dividend income for the whole year right now is $105.09, which is pretty exciting. That's about a $4 increase just from those purchases this month, which is pretty exciting. And also the average dividend CAGR, like I said before, is 7.5%. Which, like I said, I want to work on increasing that. And if we look over here, we can see the equity by sector. So our biggest sector, it looks like at this point, is industrials at 16.9%. Oh, actually tech at 19.6%, followed by industrials. But then when we look over at actual dividend income by sector, tech is only about 10%, whereas healthcare is the biggest segment there with 19.5% of dividend income. And then also, if we look up here, we can see actual equity. So this table right here is sorted. So, I only have about $56 invested in Amcor. That's my smallest position. And my largest position right now is actually JP Morgan, which is worth about $366 and is about 9% of the portfolio at this point in time. So we can also take a look at the actual returns of the portfolio over the past month and compare it with the market. And we can see that my portfolio returned 1.69% in the month of January. And comparing that to the market, S&P 500 returned 6.28% and the Dow returned 6.97%. So definitely within the month, my portfolio lagged a fair bit, but it's only really a month. Over the past 3 months, my portfolio has outperformed the market at about 7%, whereas the market has been around 5.5 to 6%. And then over the past year, my portfolio has definitely outperformed, up about 6% over the past year, where the market's been down about 8%. So I'm pretty happy with the portfolio this month. Obviously, we underperformed a little bit, but it's just a month, and that's really not much to look at all. And I'm sure over the next few years we'll be able to do much better. But I'm just really excited for where the portfolio is going, how I'm able to contribute more capital, and I hope to continue that throughout the year. And I want to continue focusing on the dividend CAGR as well, and work on bringing that back up around the 8% mark. I'd be really excited to hear how your guys' dividend portfolios performed in the month of January and how much you did receive in dividends. I really appreciate you all sticking around to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.